Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You've written into us about difficulties that you're facing with your children, that they are not listening to you, and it feels like you are repeating yourself day after day, time after time, and they're just not listening. So, first of all, I just want to say that you are not alone. I believe that all, if not most, parents go through this situation to some extent or another at some point in their time as a parent. So you're not alone here. It's a difficulty that we all face. But Alhamdulillah, there are many different ways that we can tackle this. So I'd begin by saying, looking at it with a more indirect approach in teaching them from an Islamic perspective the importance of respecting parents and elders. Now, this doesn't mean going to them and saying, you must respect me because Islam says that you should. No, it's just about teaching them the importance of having respect. And I guess being a good role model to them as well, in that even as adults, we have to respect our parents and the elders in the community as well. So, first of all, just teaching them indirectly about that without saying that I'm only telling you this because I don't like the way you're disrespecting me by not listening, but letting them understand that this is the way we should be as Muslims, and it's very important. And then again, you might say this is a more indirect approach, but it's still dealing with the behavior in terms of getting the support of other people as well, not dealing with it by yourself. It can be very stressful to deal with this behavior by yourself. So either if there's somebody else, maybe your spouse or other elders living with you, getting them to support you in the moment, perhaps if they are not listening in the moment, getting them to step in and help out as well and encourage them with whatever it is that you're trying to direct them to. So having this additional support in the moment can also help to make sure that they are listening to the instructions, but also either following an incident of them not listening to you, approaching them after about the incident, whether it's you directly or somebody else that they respect within the family, whether it's your spouse or whether it's maybe grandparents, aunties, uncles, or so on, to speak to them about it after and just let them know that this behavior is not acceptable, that they should be respecting you, or if you're approaching them, just letting them know that you were not happy with their behavior and they're not listening to you, and make this after the incident has happened, so the arousal levels are lower at this point, not only for you but also for them as well. Or having somebody else to talk to them about it can be good, to have somebody separate from the incident or from the relationship to talk to them about it too. And then regarding actually in the moment, a direct approach in the moment, rewarding them when they do, because I'm sure as well as you get many, many moments where they don't listen to you, there'll be some where they do. So in the moments where they do, make sure to give them some kind of praise or reward for doing so. It might just be just a very simple verbal response to what they've done, just letting them know that that behavior was good. They were good to listen to you in this situation. So they know that this is the right way to behave, and it makes children feel good when they get praise from their parents or from their elders. But one thing I would advise on this particular matter is that don't make it something that you do every time. Otherwise, their good behavior or their listening becomes contingent on having some kind of reward. So they'll expect a reward every time they listen, which is not healthy as well. So you have to kind of strike the right balance. So it might be that you do it most of the time, but not every single time. So they don't expect it all the time. And then on the contrary, in terms of reprimanding them for not listening, this is something that, when you're having a good moment together, use this as an opportunity to, first of all, let them know that it's not okay to not listen to you, but also to come up with some kind of plan between you together, work as a team to decide what the consequences will be for not listening. And this way, if it's something that you've decided upon together, then they're more likely to, adhere to the rules that they've set out, because they know that any consequences for misbehavior, for not listening, is something they have decided on. So they're more likely to stick to it because they've been part of it. But not only this, it also helps to develop relations between you, because you might feel like you're constantly nagging them all the time, that they're not listening, not listening, not listening. But this gives you a moment to actually come together. And even though you're deciding on negative consequences, it's about coming together as a team. And this can be a good thing as well. And knowing that, they've been part of it, you've respected them in taking their perspective and their thoughts on it into consideration as well. That's kind of, given them that sense of responsibility as well, and responsibility for their actions. And then feeling like they have this responsibility for their actions can also help to encourage them in listening to you in the future as well. So this can be a really positive thing to do, even though it's focusing on the negative consequences for misbehavior. It can also have some very positive consequences for the relationships between you, but also in terms of getting them to abide by the rules as well. So those are sort of my tips moving forward that I hope will make things easier, and hopefully, at least put you in the right direction to encouraging them to listen more. So may Allah make it easy for you. May He reward every struggle that you face to raise your children in the best possible way. And may He make them the coolness of your eyes in both this life and the next. Ameen.